Someone You Should Know. A program about people you know and even more that you don't. Hosted by Stuart Sachs, veteran, husband, father, and grandfather. Now, here's your host, Stuart Sachs.
Well, welcome to another edition of Someone You Should Know. Glad to have you with us this week, as every week. I very, very much appreciate those of you who follow us on a regular basis, and those of you who might be new to the show. And all, if you enjoy it, please hit the share button and let people know and send us a comment. We're more than happy to get back in touch with you and answer all your comments. If you have anybody interesting that you'd like to suggest, maybe to be a guest on the show, you can do that also. You can go to the website, my website, stuartsachs.com. There's a little place in there that you can say, hey, I want to be on your show, and we can do it. And this show is brought to you in part by Irving Chung, who is a franchise consultant. And Irving knows absolutely everything there is to know about franchising. And it may not be anything that you've thought about in the past, but you might want to give Irving a call, get a free consultation, and just say, hey, I'd like to just maybe learn a little bit more about franchising. You can get into it for a little money. You can get into it for $1 million. Yeah, that's what he says. You can get $1 million if you got to give. You can get a McDonald's franchise, or I think Chick-fil-A, one of those. But if you just got a little cash, you can still. There's some very interesting franchises, especially some brand new, hot on the market. Call Irving, get some information about it. I got a great guest on the show today. I'm going to introduce you to Trey Coleman. And Trey is a pretty cool guy. I mean, I just, when I read all the information that we got to cover today, I thought, you know what? He's a pretty cool guy.
I appreciate that. I don't feel like I'm that cool, but I'll take it.
Well, number one, we're going to get into My Nine Line, which is one of the main thrusts in your life, and we're going to tell everybody what My Nine Line is. One thing I got to do though is to tell you it has something to do with the military. And right. Trey is an Army veteran, and I thank you very, very much for your service to the country. We very, very much appreciate our veterans, and that's the kind of the connection. It was kind of because of your military service and everything, you got involved in My Nine Line. And why don't you just start off right away by telling those that are watching and listening, what is My Nine Line all about?
Yeah, and I appreciate it, and thanks for having me on the show, Stuart. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And yeah, so My Nine Line, I started a couple of years ago. I was actually working in the telecommunication industry for a while as a channel manager, and I got let go. COVID kind of slapped a lot of people in the face, me included. And I'd always had some business ideas and all that kind of stuff, and that's one thing I've talked to a lot of people about. I've noticed that COVID, while it's been rough on a lot of people, it seems to have given people that kind of nudge into that entrepreneurial mindset they already had. And that was the case for me as well. And so basically I took everything I learned from the telecommunications industry, the IT industry, and all the relationships that I had, and formed My Nine Line. My Nine Line, for those of you listening that aren't veterans or that don't know, a nine line is basically a list of questions, and there's 9 lines to it. That's why it's called a nine line. And us in the military, we use that to call in a medevac. And the reason that the military gives us this in a list format is because usually when you have to call in a medevac, there's been a lot of things that aren't going very well. One of your buddies is injured. You might still be in contact. You might still be under fire. So when that's happening, your adrenaline's going, you might not be able to speak clearly, and you've got to be able to give those, the medics and the people coming in the helicopter, you've got to give them precise information. And that's what that's for. It's here's where I am. Here's the grid coordinates. Here's this. And you're basically calling for help. Hey, we've got some injuries. We've got this, and we need you to come and pick our guys up. So that was my idea for that in relation to the business world. In business, people don't even realize that they're bleeding money every month. People don't even realize that they might be using inefficient technology or outdated technology, and they could be way more productive with just upgrading their technology. And the cool thing is in a lot of instances, people are using outdated technology and they're overpaying for it. I like to use the example sometimes, or like, for example, personally, and this is on a business level, but also happens personally. I went back to my phone provider or my internet provider about a year ago, and I've been with that internet provider at my house for, I don't know, 4 years. Well, it turns out what I was paying for and the speeds I was paying for like 75 megabytes up and down. And the rate I was paying for, I actually was paying for a gigabyte's worth of internet, but was only getting 75 megabytes. So I made a call, and they ended up, I didn't increase my spending at all, and my speed got raised to a gigabyte. So that happens all the time in business, because you get these services and then you just kind of forget about it and you use it, not knowing that, okay, you need to revisit these things. And that's what I come and do with my 9line. We revisit all that, and it costs nothing to you. And I look at all of your services and see, okay, can we improve your services, and can we save you money? So that's what my 9line is.
And I can't stress enough how important that is to have somebody like Trey available and my 9line, because most businesses, whether they're small up to corporate size, they are probably spending more time on their game plan. What's the next product we got to get out there? How are we going to increase our distribution? You're doing all of that when at the same time you're trying to help your bottom line with sales, and you don't realize sometimes that you can be helping your bottom line by cost saving factors like this. And you're absolutely right. The playing field changes almost monthly. I mean, all you got to do is look at the mobile phone providers out there, the commercials. $49 a line. The other one's giving you not only $49 a line, but they're going to give you a free phone. There's all kinds of deals that are changing. And when I'm thinking, if you're in a business position, you've got internet, you've got your phone systems, you've got your network marketing, cybersecurity concerns, things like that. All of these, you look at that bill and just pass it on to accounts payable. Here, just take care of this bill. Well, instead, put Trey in the middle, because what you basically do is you analyze all of that and you say, you know what? Did you know that this $400 bill could be $250 a month?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, boy, I'll tell you, you could probably get the ears open on a lot of executives to say, whoa, I can save that much a month. And especially to that small and middle-sized company, that's significant savings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
did you say that you offer that process for free?
Yeah, exactly. It costs nothing. So there's, and it's not even a hassle, because I'm the one that's getting all of these different, all the information for you. So it saves you the hassle of trying to track down all these deals yourself. And that it really, so you're saving, not only does it not cost you anything, but it's also not costing you, your time resources, which is very valuable.
It also helps you because you don't have to take somebody from your staff and take productive man hours away from them, because you say, hey, here, call all of these providers and everything and see if you can get us a better deal.
Yep.
Why not let that person continue to do their regular job and invite somebody in like Trey and his company? You said you had a background, and one thing I will tell this audience is that in reading over some of the information about Trey's a go-getter. You said COVID hit, and all of a sudden, I'm faced with, hey, what am I going to do now? A lot of people said, well, I'll just wait for the stimulus checks to come in. And other people said, you know what? Now's the time to rev up the engines and put them in another gear. And that's what you did. But you had a background in some of that. Was your family in the IT world too?
Yeah. So my dad actually And when I first got out of the military, I worked for my dad for a while before I went to another company doing the same thing. But my dad's he's had his own telecommunication company for, I don't know, 15 years. And it started out here in the DFW area. And now he's running the office they have an office in Florida, and then they're still got an office here in Dallas. So that's where I got my roots in telecommunications through my dad.
Yeah. And so, I want you to share with our listeners and viewers a little bit about some of those services that My Nine Line provides.
Yeah, so absolutely. So I try to keep it simple, because some people in the IT telecommunication world can go really into the details and the weeds, and you can start losing people that way. So I'm going to keep it very high level. And so I'd say we offer basically 4 different services, and we can do more, but I just want to highlight 4, right? And those are the big ones that every company absolutely needs in today's world. And one is telecommunications. So what communication systems are you using for your business? What phone system are you using? Is it all VoIP? Is it, you have soft phones, are you using desktop phones? All of those things that deal with telecommunications. You need to look at those because that changes too. And there's new things out there, especially with the era, the post-COVID era, or post-COVID. We'll see about that. But you get what I'm saying. Telecommunications is more important now than it ever has been because of all the virtual work and everything's just, so you got to stay on top of that. And that includes like your Zooms and all of that kind of stuff. And so that's something we can go in, and that I have relationships with these different companies that give me access to all of these different vendors and providers. So I can give you all of these, I can go in and take a look at your bill and take a look at what you need, and then provide you, 3 to 5 different proposals on the different services, and just let's see what works best for you. Same thing for internet. Internet's absolutely necessary to run all these things. So that's pretty cut and dry. Let's see who services your area. Let's see if you are getting, like in my personal case, let's see if you're overpaying for the speed you're at, first of all. And then let's see if we can fix that. If you are, get you better speeds, save you more money. And then another thing we like to look at is cybersecurity, and also physical security. I'd add to that as well, physical and cybersecurity. Cybersecurity has never been more important. Everything, you see on the news, people getting hacked every month, every week almost, especially businesses. And if you think that if you're a small business and that you'll never get hacked because you're small, well, you're wrong, because small businesses get hacked all the time. And so you really got to look at I like the saying, people feel like they don't need security until they need security, and then it's too
until
late.
They get hacked.
Yeah. You got to be proactive about these things. And then the physical security side of it too. Like if you've got, a high trafficked office where you've got a lot of people coming in and out, you need to have cameras up. And there's a lot of situations that need physical security presence. And then the last thing that I'll hit on is IT management. A lot of companies either don't even have an actual, in-house IT personnel, or, they need to outsource it. And I would say if you're not outsourcing already, and you don't even have an IT personnel, or you do, and it's just not working out, look into outsourcing, because I've got some great veteran, people that do that. They're professional IT management companies, and they're veteran owned. And I'd love to get people hooked up with these guys, because they do a great job.
And again, I don't want to just fluff over this cybersecurity thing. I do a bit of research, and I know that for instance, if you got a high school student that's getting ready to graduate and go on to college, and they don't know what they want to go into, cybersecurity right now is one of the biggest draws for college study, and it's only going to get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
We've all seen on the news where an airline or whatever has gotten hacked, and they lose all kinds of data. Major
Yep.
corporations. So this little guy who's got one location or two locations or whatever says, well, yeah, wow, but it's never going to happen to me. Let me tell you, when it happens to an airline, they have the means to recover from that loss.
Yep.
That small to medium-sized company, if they get hacked, it could be the end of their business.
Yeah. Yeah. It's low-hanging fruit to these hackers. You are low-hanging fruit. If they can, like you said, if they can hack airlines and huge companies like Sony, all these massive corporations, you don't think these companies have cybersecurity? They do, and they still get hacked. So you're low-hanging fruit. You need to be careful, especially if you don't have anything in place. You're just like giving it away, pretty much.
You mentioned about outsourcing your IT person. If a corporation is large enough and they have somebody on staff, I mean, they could be talking high five figures or six figures in salary to have that person on staff doing that IT work.
Yeah.
Are you saying that basically by outsourcing it to a company that specializes in that IT coverage, they basically could be saving money?
Yeah, absolutely. Like if a company's out there and they're paying a six-figure salary to or more to one IT personnel, you can get just as good or not better, and better in a lot of ways, because you'll have a whole team, a whole company that is a team of experts, and it's going to be way more cost effective. I'm not trying to, there's great IT managers out there. There's great people out there. And I'm not trying to dethrone somebody's job. I obviously don't want to cost somebody's job, but you got to keep that in mind as a company. What's best for the company. Could you save tens of thousands of dollars a year by outsourcing? You need to look at it, because if there are really good companies that you'll get great results from outsourcing.
Well, I think that's another reason for people to pick up the phone or go on the internet and contact you, is because maybe they do have an IT person on staff, and at least in a discussion, and show you what they're paying for their internet service, what they're paying for their phone services, what they're paying for their IT services. You could at least analyze it and say, you know what? I think you're good to have this IT person on staff, or you might want to supplement it. Instead of hiring another one, maybe have that IT person work with an outsourced IT company also. And I mean, I know from personal experience the issues with internet services. The cost of internet services is all over the board.
Yep.
And it also depends, for instance, where I live. I'm kind of strangled because everybody says, "Oh, you got to get AT&T fiber now because it's the fastest service out there." Well, I happen to live in a community that doesn't have AT&T fiber options.
Yep.
So, I'm kind of strangled, and I have to find out, okay, then what do I have? What are my choices?
Who's in your area? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I can either be out there trying to do this research. And of course, we all know that when you call a company, they're going to tell you that they're the best out there.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down. There's no competition. You got to go with us.
Yep.
You're better off going with somebody who's a broker like Trey, who can say, look, I have all these companies, in my arsenal. Let me find out which one's going to be the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah, it's easy. That's easy for me to find out. I have service area maps. I can make one phone call and find out immediately which providers are in that area. So it's nothing to me. And it's like I said, like you said, I mean, just reach out. And with the IT personnel, I'd add that, one easy way to identify if you need to look to consider some stuff with IT is, are you having problems? Are you having network issues? Is the network not running properly? Are you getting a bunch of, viruses? Or, you need to, if you're having issues, then you need to address them. And
that's the red flag.
Contact me and I'll help you identify what's going on. And then we'll get the right, service. We'll figure out the solution together. Costs you nothing. And it's going to make the whole process a lot less painful than if you try to figure it out on your own.
You use, having been a veteran, you use the analogy of a battle buddy. I know a lot. You talk about, it's somebody that's looking out for your best interests. You do that in the military. That's what Trey is doing in civilian life, is
Yep.
trying to be that battle buddy for you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You being a veteran too, you get it. Like, the biggest asset we have on the battlefield is our buddy, is our guy next to us, because they're going to have our back. They're going to be in the trenches with us and helping us through those tough situations. And I can't imagine going through half of the things I went through without my battle buddies. And in the business world, I think everybody that's in the business world knows how cutthroat it can be and how tough it can be. And people, will walk over your dead body just about in a second. So if there's anybody out there that is actually does care about the relationship and cares about you as a person in your business, those are the kind of people you want to bring into your circle.
Sure.
And, I would say that one of my best qualities, doing business, is that's how I am naturally. I honestly, sincerely do care about other people. And I love seeing people be, successful. I love seeing successful, helping people be successful, or helping somebody with an issue, especially veterans, but not just veterans, but good patriotic Americans. Love helping them. And I'd like to get in the trenches with you and see if I can be your battle buddy, help you out a little bit.
Well, and it's circular too, because when you help them and you find ways for them to save money and get better product and get better services, then they turn around and they tell somebody else who may be having issues, oh, listen, forget about investigating it on your own. Just pick up the phone, call Trey, go to my9line.com, get the information that you need, and he'll help you.
Yep.
And then that feeds right into your business.
Yeah.
So,
yep, absolutely.
So I've been thinking about this segue a lot. If your business has become a pain in the ass, the Trey can help you there too.
I love it. That's good.
Because and I say that tongue in cheek, because you also have another business that helps people who do have a pain in the ass, basically.
Yeah.
So go right for it. Let them know what is that all about.
Hey, that was a great segue. I loved it, Stuart. That was awesome. That was like right in line with the marketing direction of this next company. So the next company that he's referring to, and he's not joking, literally, if you have a pain in the ass, we can help with that. And my next company that I started around the same time, honestly, and I was actually starting this before COVID even had, this has been I was already starting this company before COVID hit. But it's called Roid Rage, and that's RRHOID. So it's the latter half of hemorrhoid. So it's a hemorrhoidal treatment company. And our product is launching the end of this year. It's going through the final processes with FDA and verification. So it's FDA approved. Don't worry, we don't have this crazy stuff in our ingredients that's going to make it worse. But we're excited. It's basically, we have our own unique formula, but on top of that, it's a whole different way of marketing for the hemorrhoidal industry. I mean, it's a lot bigger problem than what people think. There's a lot of people with hemorrhoids. I've done tons of market research. Tons of people have hemorrhoids. Almost everybody will have at least some form or fashion of hemorrhoid within their lifetime, whether that's external or internal. Some people never have that bad of, but there's a lot of people struggling, especially veterans. I talked to my VA doctor and I asked him, I was like, how many vets are struggling with hemorrhoids? And he said a lot. So it's a big problem. If you're sitting on the toilet for too long, stop, because that's a huge thing that causes hemorrhoids, is sitting on the toilet too long. Stop reading, just do your business and get up. But we're launching our ointment at the end of this year. And then we have other products coming out, like our Uranus wipes. They're medicated flushable wipes. We've got some other really innovative products coming out, like fiber gummies and stuff, because fiber is a very important thing for your diet, and lack of fiber can also cause hemorrhoids. So we're going to be having a lot of different products. We're super excited. And, we kind of took that poopery marketing approach, where just add humor to an embarrassing topic And it just seems to humor just, helps everything be less embarrassing.
And you're right. We're making light of it, but it is a very, very serious issue,
Yeah.
and it affects all age groups. It
Yep.
affects a lot of people. We've been talking about COVID and all. You don't realize how many people, because of the pandemic and all, were forced to continue doing their businesses at home
Mm.
on the computer, like we are doing right now, sitting in that computer chair for hours and hours
Yep.
and hours. And that also can lead to hemorrhoid
Yep.
problems. Now, you know, the interesting thing, and why I want to make something serious out of something we're having a little bit of levity with, is that if you even think that you have hemorrhoid issues, I would say to see your doctor and all, to
Hmm.
make sure, confirm, and find out what it's about and what you can do.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
also arm yourself with some of the information about the products that Trey has, because your physician may not be aware of this because it's a new product. And you
Right.
may want to have that information if you have, or someone that
Yeah.
is suffering with hemorrhoids, to know what the preparations are that are out there, and what some of the new things on the horizon are that are coming, because it is a serious problem, and there's a
Yeah.
heck of a lot more people that have them.
Yeah.
uh, I just had a colonoscopy not too long ago, and that's something that I highly recommend for anybody, especially as you get into your 40s, 50s, and beyond, because
Yeah.
sometimes a colonoscopy can lead to the diagnosis of having some hemorrhoidal issues.
Yep. Yep. No, absolutely. And I agree 100%. Always consult your doctor. I mean, talk to your doctor about it. And when we get closer to the end of the year, when we're launching the products, you'll see the ingredients. Let the doctor know what's in the ingredients. That's important. And to make sure that he gives you, his blessing, because everybody has different allergies. So you just got to be careful and make sure. And obviously, all of our ingredients will be on the product. So you'll see all that. But you're right. It's definitely so I was back when I was doing market research a couple of years ago. I was researching how many Google searches a month do people search for hemorrhoidal treatment type of Google searches. There's over 25 million searches on that subject in a month in just America. So
Wow.
there's a lot of people out there with some
Well,
buttholes.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
When we were going to our jobs on a daily basis before the pandemic, and all, we were out of the house, in the car, to the office, out to lunch, and all. Now we're spending so much time at home, in one place, that it can add to, the problem. The one thing you mentioned that is part of the launch, you mentioned the gummies with
Yeah,
fiber and all, to help with the problem.
that's
Uh,
right.
Going back a decade or two, I mean, you had to be spreading some kind of cream on yourself in order to try and take care of it. Where some of the new technology is now going to make not only hemorrhoids, but a lot of other medical issues a little bit easier to treat, because you don't have to take god awful liquids, pills, and things like that. That a lot of it is being done in single dose form.
Yep.
That's technology. That's
Yeah.
moving forward, and nobody wants to think about hemorrhoids, but boy, oh boy, just like you said, nobody wants to be bothered with problems in their technology until something wrong happens.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with you personally.
Yeah.
You don't think about doing something medically until it happens.
Until it happens.
Better off to be proactive and know,
That's right.
because hey, if something's going to happen, I want to know about these products in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head, Stuart, is, yeah, we have the preventative thing, or, the things that you put on after the fact, but then like the stuff like the fiber gummies so if you're going to struggle with hemorrhoids, well, start getting your diet in check. So now
Yeah.
you're being proactive, like you said, you're not just being reactive. And that's the same thing with the security. Like I said, be proactive. Don't just be reactive.
Yeah. Get ahead of it, and understand that if you are at risk for any medical condition, and all, there are steps that you can take.
Yeah.
I'm a senior citizen now. I take a baby aspirin every day. Why?
Mm.
Because it helps with keeping the blood flowing so that I am less likely to get a heart attack or a stroke. A
Yeah.
simple 81 milligram aspirin every morning can
Yep.
help. But again, the doctor said, I think if you do this, it is a preventative matter and step that you can take to avoid problems down the road.
Yeah.
Who
Absolutely.
wouldn't follow advice like that? So if you are
Yeah.
prone to any medical issues like hemorrhoids or anything else, to be able to do something preventively up front prevents having to go through the pain and agony of what you got to suffer through later.
Yeah. And on a lighter note, one last thing I'll add to that is holiday season. Like I said, it's launching right before holiday seasons. What better what better of a gag gift or a white elephant gift for somebody in the family or friends that you might know struggle, and you stick that thing in their stocking, or you do the white elephant thing, and let's see who's trying to steal that gift. Then you'll know what they're dealing with.
Yeah. Or going back to what I said earlier, what better gift can you give to your favorite pain in the ass?
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Here.
Here, you're a pain in the ass. Take some of this.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Well, you mentioned with the 9 line having to do with medical connection on the battlefield and all. Is that the area that you served when you were in the Army?
No, so I was actually in 19 Delta Cavalry Scout. Yeah, so I was, that's kind of like a reconnaissance type role for the Army.
And you where were you stationed?
So in Iraq, I was actually in a little town called Salba Bor. It's kind of like a suburb to Baghdad, kind of like a Denton to Dallas, or that's kind of And so I was in that area, and we got flexed around a lot of just stuff going on. But I served. So I was in Iraq from 2007 to 2009. I did a 15-month tour, and then beyond that, I was actually got stationed in Hawaii for a while, and that was nice. That was my first duty station.
Much better beaches.
Yeah, I tend to like the sand in Hawaii a lot more than I do the sand in Iraq. Take that any day. And then I finished my Army service up in Fort Knox, Kentucky, where I was training brand new lieutenants in advanced reconnaissance.
And you got out of the service when?
2012.
Okay, so not that long ago, and so you've been working in the IT business, and soon launching the new corporation.
Yep.
So like I said at the top of the show, you're a go-getter. I mean, you're always looking out there. We mentioned our friend Irving Chung, who is out there trying to connect people to franchise businesses and everything, and you're out there just looking at what those opportunities are out there to expand your horizons.
Yeah. And I would highly recommend Irving for anybody out there. I mean, I talked to the guy, I know the guy personally. He's very sharp, smart dude, really, really nice guy, knows what he's talking about. And I think it's really good. A lot of veterans, I think, would be great franchise owners, because they've got the discipline and the organization, and they just hooked up with somebody like Irving. He would get them set straight.
And also, we keep using the word veteran, and all veterans know how to work with veterans.
Yeah.
And if you are a veteran organization, I encourage you to reach out to some of the other veteran organizations. Trey and I are members of the DFW Veterans Chamber of Commerce. It's veterans helping veterans, and veterans promoting other veterans businesses. That's what the chambers of commerce are all about. That's what some of the Rotary clubs and those clubs are all about. Is meetups and interactions, and working one-on-one with each other to promote each other. It's very important, but veterans know how to do it. And that's why I'm always looking for veteran-owned organizations. whether it be a restaurant, whether it be an insurance adjuster, whether it be a financial analyst, because if you go to veteran-owned businesses and everything, you're going to get somebody who is structured, who knows how to run their business, and knows how to work one-on-one with people. And I know that that's very important to you, and it's important to a lot of other people that we work with, and it's important to the public to know that that's an avenue, because we are surrounded by big box stores and by huge corporations with huge overhead and huge bureaucracy.
Yep.
I have always said it on this show, and I've said it in public many times. When I pick up that phone and I call a company, I so appreciate when a human being answers the phone, and very often it's that owner of that business. Yep. I don't get a message that says, just please leave your number, name and number. Your call is important to us. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Yeah. No, if you're picking up the phone to call, you want to talk to somebody now, not later. And that's important, whether you're calling because you need an exterminator or a plumber or an electrician right now because of a problem, or you want to call somebody like Trey and say, I really think I need somebody to look over these invoices that I'm getting every month, because if I can save $100, $200 or more, again, like I said, it helps the bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've been doing this how long, and how big is your staff?
Yeah, so right now I've got about 3 people. It's a smaller company. We didn't start too long ago, so we're still getting started. But and then on the roid rage side, we're pretty small still, because it's basically just me and my wife for roid rage, because we haven't officially launched yet. And I'm hoping that once we do launch, it'll grow fast enough we're going to need a lot of people. And I'm really hoping for that. But so yeah, we're smaller staff right now. And I'm looking to hopefully grow that quite a bit in the next year or so. We've got a lot of hopes for growth. So yeah, that's how big that's kind of the size of our companies right now.
Well, and did I see somewhere that you were involved with solar, solar industry too? Yeah.
So actually, one of my brothers.
How many different hats can you wear?
Oh, I'm just juggling hats. I got a hat for everything. I'm gonna have this roid rage hat soon. That's funny. But yeah. So one of my brothers actually started a solar company several years ago, and I'm actually an expert in growing and creating indirect sales channels. And he kind of brought me on as kind of a consultant, and also to help him start his own indirect channel to his solar company. And so I've been doing that as well, as kind of a contracting role for them. And I love doing it. I love growing indirect channels. That's a lot of what I did in the IT world, was grow indirect channels. And solar industries, it's been growing like crazy, and they also have gotten into, they're offering a home, they're actually about to change their name. It's United Solar right now. They're about to change it to United Home Solutions, because they're doing roofs, all the attic stuff, windows, your, HVAC ceiling. Like they're a lot of people, I didn't even know about this till several months ago, but basically they can go in and put this stuff in your HVAC ducting that will increase your, the efficiency of your home by like 20-30%. Because what I didn't realize, a lot of people's HVAC ducting, it's leaking a lot of that cold air. And so if you could just retain a lot of that cold air in that duct work, you're going to get your house isn't going to be fighting as much against the heat, because you're maintaining that, that cold air that's coming from your air conditioner. So anyways, they do home solutions now, and it's just crazy. It's fun, but that's what I do for them, kind of, along with like the other hats. Okay, which hat am I going to put on today? Or usually it's changing hats multiple times a day, honestly.
Well, all right. So when you're not doing all of that stuff, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, I've got a wife and a daughter at home, and also another one on the way in October. So, I obviously,
congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Another girl. So I'm a girl dad now. I'm officially a girl dad, and I love it. but I love spending time with my girls, and we've got pets, and we're a family oriented company, so we like to go visit our families a lot, and go swim at my mom's house, go visit her parents, and eat out with them. And then I got to be honest, I'll just be flat out honest with you. I do. So my day is usually like stacked with things to do, and then finally at nighttime, later on at night when I get to unplug, my escape is video games. And it's so funny because I have all my army friends. I probably would not play video games. I mean, I'm 35, so I'm a little older to play video games. But all my army friends play them. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't play. But it's my way of keeping in touch with all my army friends. I got a friend in California, a friend in Wisconsin, a friend in Pennsylvania, and we all just kind of get on and we catch up in life while we play video games together. It's kind of my, hey, I'm just going to not think about anything for a while, focus on that. And I also like to box. So I'm into boxing. I've been boxing for about, I was a part, before I got so busy, I was regularly going to an actual boxing gym in Denton for, 3.5, 4 years. And then just lately, I just haven't been able to get up there near as much, just because, like I said, all the hats I'm wearing.
So you're gonna take on the nickname Rocky or something?
Yeah. I just, every day I start my day off with Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, you call me Rocky Coleman, Adrian.
Yeah. Adrian, yeah, for sure. But man, I just can't keep up with those young guys in the gym anymore, man. They those young 20-year-olds, it's hard to spar with them because they're just so fast and they got energy for days.
Well, but that's what helps keep you young.
Yeah, I definitely. Hey, when I get to hit the bag for 30 minutes to an hour, it just feels good,
Well, I can contest that when you get to that point where you got two little girls running around the house too, that's going to be another challenge for Dad.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. You are not kidding.
That's amazing. Well, Trey, it's a pleasure talking with you and sharing your passion for business. And I said it before, I'll say it again. You're a go-getter, and that's who I want to do business with, and that's who I want to encourage my audiences to do business with, is people who are knowledgeable, people who care about their customers, and people who really want to dig into the problems and issues that you have to help you find solutions, not generic solutions, but customized solutions to your issues. So if you have any issues with your IT, with your internet, with these, and you either want solutions for yourself or because of the company that you work with or the company that you own, reach out to Trey. My9line.com is the email address, is the website. You get the phone number, give Trey a call. Again, free consultation, so you can't go wrong. But if you're paying too much for those services, a free consultation could mean more money in your bank account instead of somebody else's bank account.
Yep.
I think that's a fair thing to say.
Absolutely.
My friend, thank you very, very much for taking the time and spending it with us and sharing your stories with the audience. And I'll make it a good one. I'll see you at the chamber meetings and all. And otherwise, make it a great day, great life, and congratulations again on the upcoming birth of your second daughter.
Thank you, Stuart. Thanks for having me. Pleasure being here. Enjoyed it. And thanks, man. It's awesome.
All right. Talk to you soon. And thanks for watching the show. Appreciate you all being with us. And all thanks again to Irving Chung for being the sponsor of the show. And all, as I always say, go out and make it a good day and be yourself, because everyone else is taken. That'll do it for another edition of Someone You Should Know. Talk to you next time.